Okay, so for this week, we're going to do a little bit of sight reading and then we're going to talk about your assignment. So your assignment for the week is on page 225, 9-12. I want you to do the original key and I want you to do the transposition. In the video after this, I'm going to cover the transposition they ask for. So you're transposing from F to G minor. But if you would like to, you're welcome to transpose in another key. I just state what the key is so I know what it is. But let's start. Let's go to the, well, if you haven't turned to page 225, go ahead and do that now. You can pause if you need to search for it a bit. Let's do a little bit of sight reading. So we've done a little bit so far in this class, and if you were in my last class, we've done even more. But let's just kind of do a little bit of a refresher before we really dive into it. So you're going to identify the key first of what you're sight reading through, and then it says use the indicated tempo. If we're sight reading, you go the tempo that you need to get the right notes. It's harder to improve with sight reading if you're just taking off at the speed of light. So we're going to ignore allegro moderato for 9-11. We're going to go adagio, okay? And I will count you off, but if you need to, you go even slower, you can do that on your own. So some things that you can do before you can actually, what I like to do is like close the lid of the piano and tap out the rhythm. So it would be from the start 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, etc. for the right hand, and the left hand 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's actually good practice if you're one that's a person who struggles with rhythm a bit more. You don't have to worry about hitting notes this way, and it'll free you up a little bit more. That's always a good thing when you have some time before you have to sight read through something. And I would actually have you guys do that if we were in class together, but we are not. And then you can do the same thing with both hands together. You can also sight read through the hands by themselves in your free time. So let's take a look at the key signature before we get started. We are in B minor. If you can't tell by the ending chord, our sharps are F sharp and C sharp. And of course we are in 3/4. If you have the pedal, use it, great. If you do not have a pedal, that's okay. It might be a little bit more awkward, but I'm more concerned about you getting correct notes, rhythms, than all the articulation and whatnot. But with that in mind, let's go. We're going to start deathly slow, okay? And see how many C sharps, F sharps you can remember. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 1, and ready, and go, and. F sharp, sharp, C sharp, F sharp, and A sharp. Good. So be honest with yourself. See if you can catch all of those sharps. Beforehand, if you struggle with getting all of those, you can circle them in your music. That's also, I think, part of practicing sight reading. Now, we're going to transpose that up to C minor. So if that was a little bit wonky for you, you can pause and try again. But when you hit play, let's transpose to C minor. So B to C minor is going to be actually a half step up. Now, the most important thing is writing out the key signature of C minor. The minor scales we did just before are right before page 201 has the key signature for C minor. And so in the key signature, we have B flat, E flat, and A flat. We're in harmonic minor, so we get rid of the B flat. It's going to be B natural. But we do have E flat and A flat. So for C minor, you write right underneath it, E flat, A flat, B natural. Okay? All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to shift it. Go ahead and put your third finger on E flat. Okay? That way you're just already prepped and ready to go on that. Okay. All right. So let's go about 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and go and 1 E flat, F, flat, G, E flat, G, no, A flat, F, A flat and F, G. Now thumb back to C, A flat, G. Now B natural, so A sharp might be a little bit tricky, but here's something you can think about. A sharp in B minor, original key, is the leading tone. So right there, if you want to, just write in leading tone. And that equals B natural. So of course, when you were prepping this and trying to transpose it, you can write anything that you want in there. Okay? All right, with that in mind, we're going to go on to your assignment next. Spend a little bit less time talking, a little bit more time playing.